Hey, good morning. Just sitting this morning and diving more and more into emotion. So I talked yesterday about being emotional and how it opens us. And I wanted to spend a minute asking you, when did emotion get labeled as bad? When did you have to shut down? When did you have to turn off? When did you have to hold back in your past? Because this is a big question. We're born as children, as an infinite fractal of God, and we come into a world that's filled with confusion. It's a limited version of what we came from. So we start off with an open veil as a child of unconditional love, just radiating and hoping to experience unconditional love from your mother, from your father, from your world, from everyone that's in that world. And then slowly but surely we get whittled down. We start as a baby where the only sound we can maybe make is some goos and gahs and maybe some cries. And we are rawly emotional. My body hurts or my tummy hurts and we cry and we feel that sadness, that pain, that discomfort, that suffering. When we smile, our eyes light up. You know that look from the baby, just like that. Or you ever seen a baby with gas and see them just kind of like, ooh, it's kind of a little bit, or having a baby taking a little poo or a pee, and you can watch that in their face, and there's pleasure and there's pain and discomfort and all those things. I just want to go ask us to kind of go back and look at the innocence, where our emotions started for us, and how it matured over time, and how those emotions became not okay. Maybe your parents were overwhelmed, or your mother had postpartum depression or other things, and maybe we were spanked, maybe our hand was slapped, or we were told that children are meant to be seen but not heard. And all of a sudden our emotion, our sheer joy, our excitement, all of a sudden got curtailed. And a lot of times we weren't even sure why. Our parents had their own upbringing and societal conditions, religious conditions, etc. And those were fed into us at a very young age. So when did your emotion get cut off? When was it not okay to cry? When did the little boys get the first statement that you can't cry, you got to suck it up, or whatever? So if we start looking at our development, our religion, our upbringing, our parents, our brothers and sisters, all the people that contributed at those early formative stages up until the age of about 7, we take in whatever we're told. So it's like, stop crying. And you have to stop crying even though you still hurt inside. Maybe you closed off. Maybe this little bubble of pain and discomfort started in your chest, and it was like, okay, I can't do this now. I'll be bad, or I'll do something wrong. And wow, how did it close us off? How did it make us feel like we couldn't be ourselves? How did it make us shut down? And a lot of this is programming that was done purposely. Getting people so they're not in touch with their emotions, not in touch with their body, makes people that are cold and have armor and walls up. And now as we're going through this ascension process, we're being asked to do exactly the opposite, to break all those things down and start to open and get crunchy. And we're running into people that are really emotional and make us question ourselves. I've been known for triggering people by the way I speak, or the directness that I have, and all these kind of things. And it's a gift in a lot of ways. I could care less if if what people think of me, as long as I'm saying my truth and it's accountable and it's not projecting, etc., my truth is my truth. But there's tons of people out there that'll run around and stop you and stomp on you and try and tell you to stop because they can't do it themselves, and it scares them to see somebody else that's able to go in and dive and explore themselves. So as we're opening, we're welcoming people into our life that are emotional. I was quite emotional in my live yesterday. I don't know if that affected people, but I know when I talk directly about some of the things going on between men and women, etc., I attract in especially women that aren't comfortable with that, and they think I'm smashing them or I'm doing something untoward, but it's really their sadness at their own inability to be comfortable with what's said or to take responsibility for their part. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying we have to own what shows up. The triggers show up for a reason. We run into people for a reason. We meet people that trigger us so that we can see that maybe our perspective is smaller than it should be. Maybe it's affected by religion. Maybe it's affected by a trauma or a wound from a parent or a family member or a friend. So each and every day, my journey is to open and talk about my truth. And that truth, whether or not it makes people happy or triggers them, isn't really my control or my choice. I have no option how that might be taken by another person, but I won't limit myself so that they feel better. And I have to accept other people's statements as well. That may trigger me too. That anger that comes back at me or the projection that comes back at me shows me areas where I'm still trying to please, or I'm needing to be tested, or other things. But it's the more and more I emerge into my truth and my emotion, and not a crunched down version of it or something that's shut off, I can flow in it. There might be emotion, and it'll be quicker to flow through me now because I'm open and I'm accepting of it, of whatever shows up. No judgment. Oh, I can't do that. That's bad. Oh, what if I'm hurting someone? What if she doesn't like me? What if blah, 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 blah? There's a million different stories that we have. But in the end, all that really matters is how I feel about myself. And those other people, as long as I'm speaking from my truth and other things, 9 times out of 10, it's their trigger, it's their trauma that's trying to be projected because they're not okay with their own situation. And then those few times that it's something else, then I see something inside myself that's blocking me or is shut off or I haven't looked at or whatever, and it's a gift. It shows me, and then I get to look at it and say, okay, is that serving me, or is that truth, or is that real? And then magic happens. So your emotion is built to serve you. Your emotion is energy in motion. If you cut it off, or you block it, or you hold it in your chest or in your stomach or in your throat or wherever it is, it's no longer energy in motion. It becomes this bubble of unresolved stuff. And eventually it's going to have to be dealt with. And it's not going to be easy if you layer it and layer it and layer it, and you're now 30 years or 40 or 50 years into your life plus, and start to realize, holy shit, there's like 50 years worth of shit in here. And then it's like, I don't want to deal with that. But right now, with all the stuff that's squashing us and squeezing us, and all these solar storms and solar flares and CMEs and all this kind of shit, it's giving us a chance for it to wash through us. It's breaking it down. It's knocking down the walls, making these bubbles pop so that people can move through and rise up. So dive into your emotion right now. Go deep. Realize emotion is energy in motion. It's going to allow you to ground out the old stuff. It's going to allow it to pass through your body. Get some salts in your body. Put a pinch of salt in your water. Get things that are going to help move the energy. And the quicker you can move it, the more strongly you can feel an emotion, the more you can ride it and maybe weep or sob or scream into a pillow, or whatever your state allows is going to let that energy move. And then it's not going to be blocked, and then it's going to be happy with you, and your inner child's going to be happy with you, and then the magic happens. So emotion is a very important tool right now. Go with it. Open to your fullest emotion. be accountable to how you express it. Don't just freaking come uncorked at someone. Go in your room, get a pillow, get a baseball bat and hit it against the pillow on the floor, or something like that. Whatever you need to let that energy out while being accountable to other people around you. And I'm not saying protect them from it. I'm saying you don't hit people. You don't need to project that energy at anyone. It's yours and it needs to be dealt with for you. So give this some thought. You're going to feel inside your body and you're going to realize that some stuff's stuck and you need to move through it. So do it. Right now is the time. Breathe. Lots of breathing. Scream and yell. And you only need about 90 seconds of just absolute pure emotion. Let it out, and you're going to feel empty afterwards. And there's going to be this big void. Get to the end, take a deep breath, breathe in love, breathe in unconditional love, fill up that empty space with love, and then just sit and feel yourself and know yourself and look into everything and look into where the heaviness is and let that new emotion come out. Let other stuff bubble out. Let statements come out. Scream and yell into a pillow or whatever you need. Bring up people's names from the past. Do it in a private space. You're not doing this to hurt anybody or blame anybody. You're just moving the energy. That's emotion. We need to move it right now. So go inside. See what's begging to come out. See where your cork is on so tight that you don't know if you're going to survive. And go look there. Start to pop that cork. Be accountable with it. Breathe with it. With whatever energy shows up, hold yourself. Let that energy pass through. Go all the way to your, like almost genitals with your breathing. And then breathe it out and let it go. And breathe it out and let it go. Take many, many deep breaths. You're going to find that that's going to balance everything. You're going to get grounded a lot quicker and move on. Get your feet in the grass. Put your feet on the floor. Put your feet in the water. Jump in a Epsom salts bath. Do whatever you need. But drink lots of water. This has got to be moved. Water is the electrical conductor in our body, and it needs to sometimes have salt and stuff. If you drink filtered water or distilled water or any of that kind of stuff, some of it takes the stuff out. So put some salt water in, or a little bit of pinch of salt, or sea salt is a good one afterwards, and it's going to help a lot. So try it. See where you end up. If you get stuck, put some notes on the bottom or message me. We'll get her done. We got this figured out. I'm moving through it every day, just like you guys. You got this. Love you. It's not easy, but you're going to so like the other side. Have a good day.